Hey, look, you made it. Thanks, and make sure you give yourself a like on this video and leave a comment underneath whenever I say something that you might agree or disagree with. Now let's go to the video. Do you ever really know who you are, or you just understand who you are at that moment in time?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, because you're always evolving. You're always evolving if you're open to that. You're always shedding who you were.
True.
Right? And then you are always aspiring to be the next thing.
Hey, look, you made it. You made it to another episode of the Simon Says podcast. Right here, guess what we're shooting? We're shooting right here at Twiva Studios in Harlingen. This is where you as a business person, you can come on down and actually create great content right here. And they make quality content for your product or your services, whatever it is that you have to offer, and they package it so nicely for your digital spectrum. Because guess what? You need to be on the digital sphere in order to make real transactions with your clients. And you as a content creator, you're like, where do I get a location? Guess where you can get a location? Right here at Harlingen. You can check them out right here. Where? www.twiva.com. And you know right here, the Simon Says podcast, we actually have conversations that make you smile and think at the same time. And someone who's come on down is none other than Pinky. Literally, you're named after my smallest finger. How you doing? Hey, gang.
Gang.
There you go. How are you, by the way?
I'm so good.
How are you mentally?
I'm very well mentally. I'm always working on my mental health, so I'm well.
That's true.
Thank you for
and
asking.
one thing is, you're most welcome. I know that's the question that you have
it's
to
a
ask
question
nowadays.
that, very rare, but well done. Well
Thank
done,
you.
Well
I
done.
bow down. Thank you so much. And you've been around for a minute.
Yeah, well.
Exactly. You're not so young anymore.
Oh, you don't have a right to label me old.
I did not say that. I didn't.
When I'm old, I'll let you know.
Are you comfortable with
I'm
it?
just old in number-wise. I'm very comfortable with my age, 46.
Yeah.
It's a good age.
Why are you comfortable with your age? Because that's something that I want to just
Because
like. What
society makes us think that we need to be afraid of age, and I'm a rebel.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm like, F you, society.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna step into my age.
There you go, because even that makes it, because even when a lot of women, when sometimes even they say like when they get a little bit older, they feel like, you're not supposed to ask a woman her age or something
Why
like
not?
that.
Why not? You know what I feel it is, and I talk about this on my social media as well. I feel that we have been told to be afraid of aging, but we get more powerful as we age as women. We step into our authenticity. We are able to speak our minds, and this is what I feel people fear, or whoever has told us or taught us to be afraid of getting older. Yes, things sag and go down south, but hey, we have so many things that we can do about it.
There's more to offer than just, because there's more the things that come with you when you're aging. What do you think that's something specifically that you have actually acquired because as you've go further along in life?
I know my boundaries, and I'm not afraid to tell anybody my boundaries. This is where it is. This, if you cross it, we can no longer hang out together. So.
And you're more confident about that. You're not scared to actually be hesitant about that.
And you can say no, and you can say, how much are you paying me? Because before, when I was younger, I'd be like, oh God, I don't know.
I don't know how much.
And then, no, this is how much I'm worth, and if you can't pay me that, I cannot take that work.
And that only comes with experience and actually going.
Yeah.
And something I want to discuss with you, the reason why you're here, because even I want to discuss clearly, because you're clearly someone who's living in a purpose to some extent, even I would say that.
Yeah.
And you're living in your purpose with intent.
Yes.
And that's something that I can personally notice. Even I just want to tell you that.
Oh, thank you.
Face. Yes,
thank you.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm glad you noticed.
Yes, I have great insight. So now the key thing is, how do you define purpose for yourself? Not dictionary.
Yeah.
For yourself, how do you define purpose for yourself?
For me, it's always what can I do to make a difference? Whether it's to one person, 1,000 people, 100,000 people. I feel that is my purpose. What am I doing today to make a difference? And that's all it is. I wake up with that intention.
But can you really because the thing is, what can you do today to make a difference? Then now goes further in the sense that you're busy now being in service to others.
Sure.
All the time? Is that what you define as your
Well,
purpose?
you cannot pour from an empty cup, right?
True.
So you do need to work on yourself first. But service to others, I think, is everybody's legacy.
So everybody must serve others?
I mean, what is wrong with that?
Isn't it also in stages?
How do you mean?
Here's what I mean. You cannot, like, there's no way you can be of service to others and you're, like, to some extent, and you're only like 20, 15, or so on and so forth. And yet, you know, there's so much that you've not poured into yourself. You know, there's a level of, like, you are at stage that you are maybe growing, and then now you're reflecting on yourself, then you're nourishing your own, even your own, like, even your mindset, even shifting now,
So
all that.
let's dissect what service to others is.
Okay,
What is it to you?
I would ask you that question.
So to me, it could be anything. It's a random act of kindness. It's just being nice to someone. It's when somebody comes and taps on your window and says, please give me something. If you don't have anything to give, because sometimes we don't, you roll the window down and you have a conversation. You treat that person with dignity. That's all it is. It's just going the extra mile and sort of not always being in your bubble.
But sometimes, but not everybody deserves the rolling down the window because some people, way.
No, but
you live in Nairobi. What are you talking about? Look at this one. Like,
Listen.
yes, when they all come, what you're gonna do is service door in your window and say, "Hello, how are you?"
Don't twist my words. Don't twist my words.
Yeah,
but you see, like the other day, someone did tap my window and he was trying to sell his CDs.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a DJ. And,
Your
and
CDs?
his CDs.
Like CDs, like
No.
they're still around.
Yeah, CDs.
They're still around.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you imagine?
You have a CD player.
I think so. My car does.
I continue.
Yeah,
yes.
but yeah, he was trying to sell those, and he's like, I'm a DJ, and you've got to give respect to that.
True.
You know, so it's just a matter of rolling the window down, saying, I don't have anything today. I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry that you're struggling, and
Okay.
I see your struggle. I recognize it, and I hope tomorrow is a better day for you.
I get you. Now, because even as you've even gone through your life, how can you say that? Can you say your purpose has always been the same? Because what you were like zoned in and focused on, let's say even 5-10 years ago, is not necessarily the same purpose that you are even on right now.
Oh, excuse me.
That hit you hard?
That was a coffee. It's a small
It's
burp.
not good.
I'm like,
but
oh.
seriously, did that hit you that hard? It's like, that question hit hard.
No.
But seriously.
I think every day. I think if I really go back and think about even when I was 16, my purpose has always been the same. I've always wanted to do something for other people. Not to say that everybody's purpose will be the same, but it's how you apply that. It's how you apply it.
That's what I'm talking about
So,
now.
yeah,
The
so-
application part.
Right.
See, how you apply that now,
Yeah.
you've applied it very differently across your life.
Across,
That's
yes.
not what I talk about
Yeah.
now. When you talk about now, even your purpose now, when you've shifted, how have you been able to navigate and shift?
Yeah, so I mean, like, initially it was being on radio, and that was my service to others because it was going on and being entertaining, being fun, whatever. But then also what I feel like really resonate with people is me sharing real stories about my life. So whether it's, death of family that I've experienced, I share those stories. Whether it's miscarriages, I've shared those stories. Being bullied in school, I share those stories. I do it openly because I believe once you found some form of healing, you continue to find healing by sharing your stories and hopefully healing others.
Could you say that then, because when you mentioned about healing, could you say that then in order for you to actually find your purpose, because a lot of people will say, okay, how do you even find your purpose in the first place? What journey have you gone through in order to say, yes, I found some clarity in what it is that I'm actually even pursuing?
Yeah, I feel that's, I mean, like you're always, if you're like me, I have to be careful. I have to be careful with you because you're like, really? Do we all think about that? You're always questioning your purpose. What's my purpose in life? What's my purpose? Why am I here? What am I doing? What is the reason? What is the reason I went through this? What's the reason? So this is how this is why I can confidently tell you this is what I feel my purpose is, to serve others, to leave that legacy. Because and it's not like I want to leave a legacy of, this is Pinky Gilani Avenue, which would be great. Anybody who's naming
Sakaja.
roads. Yeah. Dimples.
Continue.
But it's leaving the what's the word? The knowledge of what I've learned through my experience and being able to imprint it on somebody else so they are better towards, a better person. They show up in their authenticity. They show up as a better person. So whether it's a friend, a sister, a child, whoever I impact, somebody who's following me on social media, if they are able to take that and apply it in their lives, then that is the legacy that I have left.
That's key. And you mentioned that you wanted to impact others, but here's the thing. You want to help others, but then some people do not want to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely.
And then now, how do you actually know if what you're saying is actually being heard? Because you've interacted with many people. You're actually there. You're talking. You're trying to guide them. Yeah. And then now, how do you now know? Okay, I'm just giving you. How do you reach that level of like, okay, I've impacted this knowledge. Then.
And you see, look, knowledge is timeless, right?
Okay.
Knowledge is timeless.
And sometimes knowledge is, at that moment in time in history, was valid. Yeah. But afterwards.
No, I feel like, people will always come back to look for a certain specific type of knowledge. Which is, so if you're 16 and I'm talking about miscarriages, you're probably like, that is not for me. Mm-hmm. But say you're 32 and you've had 2 miscarriages, you will look for content around miscarriages. So it will then resonate. And that could be 16 years from now. So you may not have an impact on people currently because of what you're talking about, because of where everybody is in their lives. Mm-hmm. You may impact few, but the knowledge that I feel that I share is sort of timeless. It goes across the board. It can touch on, like I talk about being over 40. Mm-hmm. And some of the people who listen to me on social media are young.
Wow.
I'm well over 40.
But most people, who do you think mostly resonates with you?
I feel
based on your interaction that you see in your DMs. And
I have a lot of young, like 25 to 35-year-olds. Who are like, yeah, that was really cool, ha ha, hee hee hee. But I do have the over 40s, very few, because we don't like to be on social media.
Why? What is that? But then why is that? I want to double. Why don't y'all like to be on social media? Or do you feel like you're putting on a facade out there?
Gen X were brought up very differently. Like we don't like to, and we looked at it initially as showing off, but now we understand that it's actually the way of the future. You got to be a part of social media in order to, like you said, even when you're in business, digital is the way to go.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, that makes sense. But now, even coming back to the impactful side of things, how have you noticed? How have you gotten better as a communicator? Because that's what you have been, in order for you to be able to see real impact in what it is that you actually say to people.
So I've worked on my communication skills. I continue, I read books. I listen to people who I think are great communicators, who mentor me through YouTube.
YouTube University, that's you right there. Always in the case.
And then I go for courses as well. So, it's not that you can reach a point and you're like, yeah, I've arrived. I feel that you have to be continuously learning. And that's with anything that you feel like you're passionate about. I'm big on speaking. I love speaking. So that's why I keep on educating myself. I'm always buying books. I'm always reading how to do a good presentation, how to do a good keynote speech. So, how to do a good interview.
Yeah, exactly. How to be a good interviewee. Yes. Exactly. Even how to have even a good conversation with others.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because even at a certain stage in your life, because right now, because even some people may be stubborn in their ways and may say like, but I already know. Mm-hmm. This has already worked for me for so long, and it has actually even shown because of the accolades that they've probably even gotten, even accolades even you've gotten. Yeah. What keeps your level of humility to even now being able to always in the search?
The one thing that I find is completely dangerous is being complacent. And I learned this the hard way because I had made a name I was a household name when I was on radio, television. Well, there are some people like, hi, who are you? And I'm like, you mean
the humility that slaps you? Yeah. Wow.
So, it is what it is, as they say. It is what it is.
So now usually then you learn not to be complacent, reason being?
Just because, you can never be, you've never really arrived, I feel. You have to continue. You have to up your game. We live in a very competitive world now, especially in the creative creative side of it. Yeah, the creative sphere. So you have to continue to, better yourself. Who are you yesterday? Be better today. And it doesn't necessarily mean competing with youngsters for me, right? It's like, that's your space and place. This is where I am, but this is how I will try and be my best at it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I don't mind saying things like, whoop.
Yes, randomly in the middle of text messages. And I hope you don't mind grabbing a cookie, because I want to give a quick break and remind you guys that indeed Tuva is actually even here where we are right now. They are indeed here, a company that even able to merge you as a content creator with a business person, where you can actually even make some money on the Tuva app. Yes, you can make some money on the Tuva app by actually even going on to www.tuva.com, because they have a lot of products and services, even connecting you with a business person. And then you're able to get some money with your content. Money with your content. That's how you gotta actually make it right there. So if you're out there struggling content creator, you're wondering, how can I even make some money with all this content that you're making out there? www.tuva.com. So a website that you actually probably need to visit, and something that I want to revisit with you as you munch on that cookie. Yes, you choke on it.
So it's coconut.
Yeah, it's coconut. There it is. We have been looking, what's in this cookie? She finally figured it out. You've been looking for it.
He was like, is it ginger? I'm like, ginger?
It's
No.
coconut, right? You
Coconut.
finally figured it out.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Even though she takes some time, she eventually gets there. But now here's the thing. Even as you're working, even in your purpose, so on and so forth, how do you move with intent?
So what is intent?
Go ahead.
It's sitting with yourself, because I think that's really important. Knowing who you are and how you want to show up. Waking up every day, keeping promises that you've made to yourself.
Ooh, yeah, that's key.
Because when you let yourself down, you feel like
Failure.
yeah. And it's the little things, right? It's the little things that you keep your promise. I'm going to eat better today. I'm not going to have a cookie today.
But I'm going to have one.
But I'm going to have one. No, but you see, like, it's those little things. Or I'm going to wake up 20 minutes earlier. Or I'm going to journal for 5 minutes today. So you start with the easy, low-hanging fruit, if you will. And then you go a bit further and you challenge yourself. I'm going to do 10 minutes running on the treadmill today. And then you show up for yourself.
That's key.
And I feel that's how you strengthen your intention.
Even I think even further, that also builds a great level of self-confidence. Because when you're able to say that I set this barrier for myself and I'm able to do it, have you seen that in itself feeds in your true self-confidence? Even how you even approach and face the world? I
think you do develop a better relationship with yourself, which is so important, right? Because you are valid, you're important. So once you understand who you are and how you want to show up and what you're capable of. Today I had 10 minutes on the treadmill and I said I would, and yesterday my mind told me I couldn't, but today I did it. Then yes, for sure, your confidence builds.
Let me just say something, even to you, maybe straight to you. Like, generally, you are a kind person. And you're a person full of great character.
You can ask my haters.
Yeah, exactly. No, I want to tell you that. Don't deflect. You receive the compliment.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, receive it. There you
I
go.
will
Yes,
take it.
exactly.
Thank you.
And the reason, and I want to go further and say, how have you been able to see your kindness as strength and not necessarily as weakness, as many people would?
For sure. I mean, I don't put myself down in any way. I really try not to. I would not say that kindness is a strength or a weakness, because I feel all of us should be kind. It should just be who we are. But
there are levels and metrics in which, like, for example, you can have a bag for kindness towards a certain, like, even human being. It's not, can you really be practical here? Okay, let's not be practical. You cannot be kind to everybody to the same extent.
Okay, fine, that's fine, but you can be kind.
Yes, in general.
And that's who we need to be.
True, then how do you do that?
You just, like I said, first you show up for yourself. And once you understand what that means, you start becoming empathetic. You start becoming more understanding. You start realizing that the world is bigger than who you are, and somehow or the other, we are all connected.
Yes, we're all connected, and we can also even connect over very many negative things, even that sort of so forth. Even many people will even do that, which is easier.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing. It's easier to be negative. So challenge yourself to find out who you are by practicing a bit of kindness.
Yes. Okay, that's a beautiful thing to say. Now, how have you? Because of course, could you say you have been kind all across your life?
No.
Exactly.
Hell no.
Some people may even remember. You've traumatized some people.
I'm sure I have.
Congratulations. This is your trauma.
Yeah.
And that's how then. What have you purposefully done in order for the kindness aspect? Have you done in active steps towards you to now seeking to be a kind of person that you are right now?
So it's just what I call soul searching. And it goes back to that, sitting with who I am and how I want to show up. So who am I? So even in those dark times when you feel like I can't anymore, it's leaning into that darkness and listening to your inner demons, learning their names. That's what I always say. Learn the names of your inner demons.
So welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, you can even politely ask them to leave. Simon, leave.
Oh, no. Are you for real? Like, you talk about, like, okay, you sit and lean to your dark side. What did you see when you leaned into your dark side?
That's called shadow work, right?
Explain that.
So shadow work is just learning that with every light, there's shadow. So if you want to be a light, there will be a shadow. It's the law of the universe. There is a light side, there is a dark side to everybody. It's the yin and yang. It is the balance, up and down, as within, so without.
Exactly.
Law of reflection. So doing your shadow work is probably the most difficult thing that one person can do with themselves.
So your dark side is valid.
Of course.
So,
but then understanding why. Why is she showing up? Why is she being a bitch to XYZ?
Gotcha.
Why is she triggered when this happens? Why can she not give that person a break or lift her up? It's understanding that. So it's unpeeling those layers and trying to figure out, okay, what happened that you find this person's competition that you cannot stand her or him?
What's the ultimate goal? Or even like, because even as we even have the discussion about purpose and everything, some people may say, I don't need all that. Like, what's the ultimate goal, like even as a person, as a human being, that you may be seeing in your life, like when you are unwrapping all these things about yourself, has it been of true benefit to you?
Inner peace.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You lay your head down on the pillow and you're like, I'm okay.
And that gives you a sense of calmness, at least.
Yeah.
Both with your demons and your good side.
Because you learn who you are, so nobody in the world can tell you who you are.
Do you ever really know who you are, or you just understand who you are at that moment in time?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, because you're always evolving. You're always evolving if you're open to that. You're always shedding who you were.
True.
Right? And then you are always aspiring to be the next thing.
That's true. And then now, right now, in this stage in your life, you still have strong aspirations even further?
Sure.
And now, like, okay, then how does that, okay, what's your biggest motivation at this moment in time? Yours.
Biggest motivation is just, wow, that's a good question.
You can think about it. I ask good questions.
That was the best one so far.
Wow, this shit. Yeah, because even at this moment in time, a lot of people have that time where they are, as you think through the question, the time where they're actually motivated either by work, or either I'm motivated because I have my kids. Other people are motivated because of specifically I'm getting involved in. What is it that you could say that?
I mean, it sounds repetitive, but it's the legacy. What am I leaving behind?
Oh, you're in the legacy stage.
Yeah. So what is it that I am going to leave behind?
And what is it that you think will be most crucial for you to leave behind?
My shoes. No, I'm kidding.
That was honest.
It's the wisdom, I feel.
Explain.
Again, just going back into my experiences that I'm very open about, that I have spoken about. I have done interviews like this with women who are very empowered, who have broken barriers. So it's that wisdom that I feel that people will benefit from.
I get you.
Yeah.
Even as we wrap up, I want to ask you this, because you've gone through many experiences. Of course, through those experiences, you've had a little bit of hiccups. You messed up here and
a
there.
little?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes.
What is one mistake that you are proud that you made?
All of them.
What's one? I said one. You can choose any. All of them! That mistake!
All
Your
of them.
mistake! Which mistake? Like you could say, okay, even just looking back at it, this mistake, because of this hiccup that I actually made, I was able to adjust and do this
But
and
that's
whatever.
with everything. All my mistakes, everything that I did, quote unquote, wrong in my perspective, because everybody has a different perspective, has helped me become who I am today. Yeah.
And who are you today?
I am a woman who believes in her power. I am a mother who wants to make sure that my children are benefit to society when they grow older, so they understand who they are as well. And I'm hopefully bringing them up to, one, respect themselves first. I am a wife who is, I'd like to say, I don't know, Raj might be like, yeah,
You'd
whatever.
like to say, well, what are you going to say? Say it.
Is a support. And I recognize and I acknowledge who my husband is, and I understand that he's a human being. Yeah.
That's key. That's key. Like even.
So I am that person. I'm, multi-dimensional, whatever that means for you.
What does that mean for you? That's the key
That
thing, because
I'm-
you're defining yourself.
I'm everywhere all the time, and I am present, and I am loyal.
Loyal.
Yeah.
To a fault?
To a fault, aren't we all?
No.
No?
Some people are that may shock you. No, not everybody's loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
In the sense that you don't feel a sense of loyalty because you're very self-centered around yourself.
Yeah.
Because loyalty requires you to be more of a giver.
Yes.
So you're more of a giver to some
I
extent, yeah.
am. With my friends, my family, I am extremely loyal, fiercely so. Yeah.
Because you're a giver naturally, have you been able to set boundaries accordingly?
Yes, now I have.
What taught you that?
My mother's stroke.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did they teach you?
It taught me to tell people to F off.
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
Fuck off.
Yes, there you go. Say it with your chest now. Don't. Yeah, exactly.
And it also allowed me to just say no. Because before it was like, yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll. And I also stopped seeking approval from people.
There is power in saying no, right?
It's a complete sentence.
Yes, there is. What has the word no, like, have you felt that, what has the word no, like, taught you, like, even when setting boundaries with others? What has it taught you about other people when you tell them no?
That they will paint you as the devil incarnate once you don't sort of listen to their way, or you don't bend for them.
And that's key.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. That's what I said before. You define yourself.
Pause. What you said right there, it does matter what people think about you because you want to leave a legacy. And a legacy.
No.
Now you see now, listen, this is I give you a push. That's the only thing. Here's the thing.
No.
Okay, wait.
Wait.
Yeah?
So what is the legacy?
Legacy.
No, what is the legacy?
Yeah, okay, what is, you said, you literally expounded. You heard it, right? So you literally expounded. Now reiterate.
Okay.
Reiterate, okay?
But it doesn't matter what people think of you.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter what they think about you. Because for as long as you continue to live for people, you will be miserably unhappy.
There's a difference between living for people and not caring what people think about you.
Both.
Those are two separate.
Both.
Those are separate entities.
Okay, fine. So
Those-
let's
yeah.
say we're not living for people and we're not caring what they think. So whether I'm leaving a legacy on my children, on my friends, on everybody who's following me on social media, on people who dislike me, that is not in my control. My job is to leave a legacy.
All right.
Okay, so because I feel I am in a certain position, and I am grateful for it, where I have people who do listen to me, people who do value my opinion, people who I am bringing up in this world, then therefore I feel I have the capacity to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Now, your opinion about me can change in an instant,
True.
right?
And it can vary
So
because
it
of
can
something.
vary,
yeah.
right? But that is not in my control. So this is why I say, don't live for other people, don't care for their opinions. But my legacy is not here to please you. And remember that, my legacy is on my terms. It's what I have lived. It is what I am going through, and therefore why I am sharing my wisdom.
Got you.
Yeah.
And your wisdom is based on your experiences.
There you go.
Exactly. And other people would judge you through the lens of their experiences.
There you go. So that's
And-
up to them.
And that's up to them. But now saying the words, not caring about other people's opinions,
Yeah.
that in itself, there's a downside to that. You know that?
I mean,
There's a downside to that because
we need a part 2 for
no,
that.
no, no, no. We keep on going. We keep, no.
Okay, I thought he was like,
we're
wind
here.
up.
No, we're here. We're going
Yeah.
in because I want to understand that because when people say this, it's a nice thing to say. I don't care what people think, or I should not care what other people think. There's a lie in that.
Okay,
There's a lie in that because based on how we move.
wait.
Hey, she said, wait. She said, hold up,
You will
Simon.
understand this as you get older.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Because yes, we seem to want to be validated by people,
True.
right?
True.
But for as long as we look for that validation, we will be unable to define who we are. So I cannot define myself for as long as I wonder what Simon thinks of me. I cannot define who I am for as long as I think of what Wanja thinks of me. So, which is why I feel like social media has its pros and its cons. One of its cons is the numbers.
Followers, likes.
Numbers,
yeah.
followers, likes.
Yeah.
Because for as long as we allow that to define us, then the minute that stops, who are we?
Just a shell of
Right?
yourself.
Yeah.
I
Not
guess.
even just a shell of yourself, but who you then go into disarray, you're confused, you're fuzzy, it's not clear, it's blurred, this is where we start getting depressed, unhappy, into a dark space. So stop looking for validation. This is what I'm trying to say. Stop looking for validation from the outside. You should be so secure within yourself that it doesn't matter whether you get likes, dislikes, hate comments, like comments, awards, no awards. That does not define you because there's always a balance. What did I say? There's the dark and the light. There's a yin and a yang. For as long as you will have love, you will have hate. So let that not, yes, appreciate them both. Be grateful that you are in a position where you do get love and you do get the hate. But don't let the hate ruin your life and don't let the love give you a big head.
True. And that's key.
And that's what I mean when I say other people's opinions, whether it's good or bad,
Okay.
should never define you.
True, but indeed, I want to hear your opinion about what she said. Let her know. Yes, indeed. You gotta go down there in your fingers. You see those fingers that you got right there? Bring it down a comment and let me know exactly if you agree with her. Like, oh yeah, you don't care what other people think. I mean, I think to some degree, I agree. To some degree, I disagree to the extent of this. Okay.
Reach 46
To the
and we'll
extent
have a
of
different
this.
conversation.
Oh, you see? The ladies, they throw the age card in your face like, bah! But thank you so much for giving me your balls of ice. And I just want to remind you that indeed, this is indeed Twiva Studios, where Wewe, as a content creator, you can come down here and create blissful, great content with the help of camera people who you can't see them. Why? Because you're not here. Well, get on down here there at Hurlingham, or if you visit the website www.twiva.com. So now the only question I have for you is, what are you still doing here? Talk up! Yeah, I see ya. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for the cookie.